Hello, and welcome back to Living in Fear. I am Mia, and I'm living in fear.
And I'm Luis. And I'm living in fear.
You sound like it. You sound so fearful today. All right, today we are talking about The Severed Son. It's from 2024, so more on that later. Spoilers ahead. As always, this is a horror podcast, so we'll be talking about, sensitive subject matter sometimes, violence, gore, all that fun stuff. First of all, though, Luis, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I had my anniversary today, or yesterday, or no, 2 days ago.
Just yours?
Yeah, just mine.
Just your anniversary. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. What'd you do on your anniversary?
yeah. I went out with the wife,
Mm.
and we went out to one of our favorite hot wing places here in Portland.
Shout out to Fire on the Mountain.
Fire on the Mountain, yeah. And then we had some cheese and crack.
Yeah,
Well, although we
which
never have
sounds
it,
really weird.
we never have the cheese. We just have the crack.
Which is their ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly recommend. We just get the cheese and crack sundae. Just like chocolate ganache, toasted marshmallow fluff. So you like the chocolate part, I like the marshmallow part, so it works out well, and it's pretty big, so it's good to share. And Fire on the Mountain has vegan wings
Vegan wings.
that are
Yeah.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty tasty. Yeah, it was fun. Nice and chill. We got
Yeah.
to sit outside, enjoy the weather. This time of year here is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Callie's very happy lately. Is enjoying it.
Yeah. I might have to take out the kiddie pool this
The
weekend.
doggy pool.
Yeah, the doggy pool.
Yeah. I work all day Saturday, so I think that's when it's supposed to be the hottest. So I'll miss that, but maybe Sunday we can do it again.
Yeah. So that's what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Celebrating my anniversary with my significant other.
Yep.
What about you?
Uh, you and I have been playing Blueprints a ton still.
Mm-hmm.
I think we kind of like we get far in like one run and then the other runs we don't, and then we just kind of start to get bored, but then we keep coming back to it, and I think we're getting to the point where we're like, should we just look stuff up? And we haven't really, but it's just kind of like I think we're both kind of getting a little like
Yeah.
bored and just wanting to kind of be done.
I'm ready. I'm ready to be done with it, to be honest.
Yeah. I felt like that like even before we got to the 46th room a little bit. Like I was like, okay, it's just starting to feel like repetitive, and like I know what I need to do, but it's like not always easy to get the right setup to do that thing, and it's just takes longer than I wish it would. I don't know. So we'll see. We watched more Star Wars, but we don't need to talk for 30 minutes about that like we did last week.
Yeah, we
But
watched
yeah,
a few Star Wars.
yeah. We're kind of like watching them all ever since Andor ended.
Mm-hmm. Though I don't feel as excited about these next ones if we end up watching The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
I kind of want to. And I'm not expecting to really enjoy the experience either, but I just kind of want to see with some time how I feel about it now. I think we've only seen both of them the one time in the theaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that we've had some distance from it, I'm a little curious to see.
Yeah,
You said you liked The Force Awakens less this time.
yeah, I did. I feel like it just didn't. It's like I don't know. It didn't age well, or it's just not withstanding the test of time. Like it is just a carbon copy of A New Hope.
It's very A New Hope. But I feel like it was like setting up interesting things maybe, and like
Mm.
maybe the rest of the trilogy was going to be like different, but you know, they didn't have an actual story for them all, so it just didn't pan out. Lesson learned. Have the whole story arc ahead of time. They should have done that with how much money they were spending and how big of a franchise it is. Like, I can't believe they did it the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Otherwise that's pretty much our last week or so.
Cool.
Time for questions.
All right. Hit me with the first question.
uh this is really random, but I guess yours is too. What's a go-to karaoke song for you?
Go-to karaoke song. It would probably be some musical song, some musical number.
Mm-hmm.
Something. So a little bit about me and my background is I love musical theater. I did theater for years, and I got to I don't know. It's safe to say I got to be a pretty good singer at some point. I don't do it anymore, so my voice is not great. Um, so I always feel like I need to challenge myself every time I do karaoke. So I always pick
Do
like,
you?
yeah, I feel like I always pick something challenging. Never like some easy song like I wouldn't pick a rap song or like a pop song just because I don't know. It's just I don't get it. I don't get if I'm not challenging myself to sing this. Also, I feel like when I do karaoke, I do it because again, I really want to try to sing this song and not just make a fool out of myself, which is what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so some musical number. Um, really don't have a to go or
Go to.
a go to. Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
think
it
I have a
wouldn't
go
be like
to.
Book of Mormon or something, or
I don't know, to be honest. It's usually something that I've been listening to lately. I feel like it always changes.
okay.
If if there is anything that's more poppy or more mainstream, it would be something by Queen and but not Bohemian Rhapsody
Yeah.
because everybody does that one and everybody
Yeah.
joins in and it's just you and 1,000 other people doing it.
See, I like the songs where everyone joins in, but that's because I'm shy. And I'm like, please sing this with me so I'm not by myself.
Yeah. So again, to challenge myself, I would probably pick like Somebody to Love or something because that one's
Yeah.
really hard. And it's Freddie Mercury, so you know
Yeah.
anything that he sings is going to be hard to sing. But yeah, something challenging, something musical related,
Okay.
maybe some Queen.
Cool.
What about you?
Good for you. The one I like to sing because I think it's kind of fun and it's not like too challenging or anything is a Stand Out from a Goofy movie. It's fun when people do know it. I don't know that many people know it anymore.
Mm-hmm. The
Or it's one of those songs where it's like, why do I know this? What is this?
the
Like Disney,
millennials
but
will
it's
know
like
it.
cool Disney. Some of them, I still even feel like some of them, or they just like don't know the words to it anymore. But another easy like go to that like I'm not gonna say I'm like the best at singing or anything, but it's one that everybody knows and will join in is like Bad Romance
Mm-hmm.
from Lady Gaga is always fun. I will say that we've when we've gone out, I feel like I've kind of picked a couple for you or like led you to pick towards and you've done like a really good job, but it's one that people do like and join into is you've done what's a System of a Down? Why can't I think of that right now?
Toxicity.
No. Wake up,
Chop suey.
chop suey. Duh. You've done that before,
Mm-hmm.
which was fun, and I feel like that was a little challenging for you.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging.
And then You'll Be Back from Hamilton
Oh yeah.
is one I was like, you should do this. And it was like such a blast because there are certain parts like that you sing by yourself, but then other parts where everybody kind of joins in, just
Mm-hmm.
like the crowd at a Hamilton show does. I mean, he's even like everybody in that
Yeah.
one part.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah, the thing about Hamilton though, I feel like it's too overdone now.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Yeah.
nice when it was new. Not a lot of people knew about it, but now everybody knows it. Everybody wants to do the songs at karaoke. So I feel like if I were to do karaoke again, I would not try to pick any Hamilton songs.
Yeah. Right.
Cool.
Your question?
Oh yeah. What's what is your favorite theme park ride and why?
Ay, ay, ay. Okay.
You know why I asked this question?
Why?
Because as we were joining the Discord, I'm subscribed to other Discords, and then I saw somebody post on another Discord that Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights is gonna have a Fallout themed haunted house, which is
Well,
technically
that's
not a
cool.
theme park ride, but it's a
Yeah, yeah,
maze.
that's cool. Are they doing Last of Us again? Now that the show is off, you know?
I don't know. That's would they
Hopefully
do
if they
it?
do, it's better.
Would they do it twice in a row? They did it last year, right? Or the year before that?
No, the year before, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe since the season just released, they'll do it again this year. I don't know.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was one of those weird ones though, because they had like actors playing like Joel and Ellie and stuff and talking, but it just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
It was
it was cheesy.
yeah, it was cheesy. That's a good way to put it. So I don't know. But I mean, I don't feel like they need like the humans in it. Like, just
Yeah.
put a bunch of clickers and like infected and stuff, you know? Like, we don't need the people part, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I wonder what they're gonna do for Fallout. I mean, they have to add humans, right? They're probably gonna add armor and a Vault Dweller. I mean,
Maybe.
they could add a ghoul, but
Yeah.
I guess are they scary? I feel like a ghoul is kind of more cheesy than scary.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I know enough about Fallout and the lore and everything to be able to guess what they'll do.
I mean, they definitely have a lot of Fallout definitely has a lot of mutated creatures, so they could add that, but I feel like that's not gonna be the entirety of it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bunch of other human characters.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
But anyway, yeah,
Yes.
that's to say, I hate. I'm not gonna be going to this thing because I hate the experience we had last time was horrible, and I'm too old to be waiting in line for 2 hours for a maze.
Yeah. I mean, I think the trick is to like get the VIP pass or out of the line pass or whatever it's called, front of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really takes the scariness out of it when you've been waiting a couple hours or like an hour or even like 40 minutes, you know, going through a haunted house. And then it's just kind of like, I'm already over it. I'm just grumpy now. I just stood in line for this and
I
it's
know.
not scary. And
I know. It's
yeah,
my worst
I think
nightmare.
roller coasters are a little bit different for me. I think it's very hard to be like on a roller coaster grumpy. So even on the ones where I've waited longer than I've wanted to, I still have fun for that short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And one that I have waited a very long time for back in the day is X or X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't been on that in probably like 15 years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say whether it would be my favorite, but back in the day, like as far as like actual roller coasters, that ride was so freaking fun, dude. Yeah, I would laugh on it. And it's just one that like wakes you up and you're twisting and turning. You don't
Yeah.
know which way you're going.
That's
It
the one
starts with a,
that's the one that spins, right?
yeah,
As well. Okay.
yeah. You're sitting in a thing and it like spins you upside down and stuff while on the ride is also doing twists and turns. And it starts with a really steep drop. So if you're in that like front row and you're just like racing towards the ground, oh gosh, it's so fun. So that was my favorite like thrill ride back then. I don't know now that I'm older. I'm like, am I gonna go on that and like feel like dying now? Because I think that's one of those things. Once you haven't been on an actual roller coaster in so long and you do it again, you're like, oh no, my body can't take this anymore. So I really want to go back to that theme park and just see. Otherwise, rides I have gone on a lot over the years. The Guardians of the Galaxy ride at California Adventure, Disney's California Adventure, is used to be the Tower of Terror, which I prefer that theming, but the Guardians ride is so freaking fun. It's the same setup as the Tower of Terror was, but there's a couple differences besides just the theming. There's like, the order of how you drop and stuff sort of, I don't know, it like takes off right away where the other one didn't. And it has music playing and it's real fun. And I hate the first drop because I don't like the feeling of falling, but like once I've done it, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think I like that versus other drop rides that are like just a straight drop. Because the other ones you just kind of like do it once or twice and then you're done. Whereas this one it's like you go up a little, you drop a little more, you go up a little, drop, drop. Like it's like so many different levels to it. And
Yeah.
you don't know which one you're going to be doing until it's happening. And I don't know, I have so much fun on that. And then the classics that I like at Disneyland, Haunted Mansion is like the dark ride that I probably prefer there. And Matterhorn is an uncomfortable ride.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of hurts, but I just like respect that. It's just you're lifted to the top and then you're like let go, and there's things to like break, but otherwise you're just basically what losing down, like like as if you're bobsledding or something. It's fun, and it's like a old one that I just hope they never get rid of. That's like the one I'm like, oh, don't get rid of this.
So you prefer the Guardians ride over the Tower of Terror version?
I prefer the theming of the Tower of Terror, but I prefer the way it's done in the Guardians.
Okay. 'Cause I
Because
mean,
the Tower of Terror, remember you used to go, it would have you looking at like the people fall in the elevator and
mm-hmm.
then you would fall. But it was like you would go in, you'd like be shown a little thing, you'd be lifted up, shown another little thing, and then see them fall, and then you would fall. Versus like the Guardians, at least like the times I've been on it, like it starts like immediately. Like you're pushed forward and then they're doing this thing and you just shoot up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think especially since I was so used to the Tower of Terror, when it happened the first time, it was just like, oh, it's begun. Like there's not even like the intro or anything. It's just like you're going. And that's just so fun for me. And then I think it is a little more like there's more to see along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a different like energy. It's like fun energy and chaos. And but yeah, the tower, the Hollywood Tower Hotel is like you can't beat that, and like the theming of it. Like I wish there
Yeah.
was a real hotel I could go and stay at that looks like that, like old Hollywood.
Well, now I feel like nowadays, people recognize Guardians more than the Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
especially if it's kids, if it's younger
Yeah.
people. But
No,
like
I get why they did it.
yeah,
So like I'm not mad about it. I just for my like aesthetic, I prefer that. Like I'm not like super into Guardians. But it's fine. And the Hollywood Tower Hotel like had a little bit of like a Twilight Zone.
hmm.
I think that ride was like creepier, and it made me more nervous when I was like a kid getting on it. I don't know. So those are my answers. What is your favorite theme park ride?
Um, these days, I feel like I prefer something that's more technology based. So
Okay.
that it really tries to immerse you into the ride.
Yeah.
Um, maybe like the Harry Potter ride. What is it called?
Oh
Harry
gosh.
Potter Journey or something at,
Something like
at
that.
Universal Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the Harry Potter ride at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Universal Studios. I think that one's really well done. It's got a mix between practical effects and animatronics, but
I think that's the
also,
trick.
but it also it at some point, or I think it starts that where you're just surrounded by screens and you're literally it feels like you're flying across the uh, the lake, surrounding Hogwarts. That's really
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, I really like that ride. That's probably my favorite overall. I think right now.
Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, I think the rides, and that's one of the things that Universal does really well is mixes like screens with practical effects and everything.
Mm-hmm. That
Yeah,
that's why I really want to go to that Shanghai one.
I
This
know. That would
this
probably be one of our favorites, the Pirates of the Caribbean and
yeah.
Shanghai Disneyland. It is
Oh
so cool looking.
damn, dude, it's just
And that's from watching a video on YouTube of
yeah.
it. Like, yeah.
But yeah, that's my answer. Shout out to Hyperspace Mountain when it's on. Uh,
Yeah, you know what? I like it when it has that like Star Wars theme to it. It's fun. I think the music goes really well with that ride and
when do they have
yeah.
it? Is it just every May?
I don't know if it's every May or what. I mean, it definitely could be for, Star Wars Day, but now that there is the whole Galaxy's Edge, like Star Wars land
Mm-hmm.
there, I don't know how important it is for them to like overlay Space Mountain with Star Wars theme.
Yeah.
It's like, do they need that much Star Wars? They already have Star Tours, which is in Tomorrowland. They used to do like the Star Wars show at the Galactic Grill area. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that I think I actually preferred that over old school Space Mountain.
Yeah, the old school one seems kind of outdated now.
Yeah. I think Tomorrowland in general
Yeah.
just kind of
Cuz what, you're just like seeing galaxies pop up as
yeah,
you're going down the ride.
yeah.
But I
I
like
mean, it's
that.
still fun, but
Yeah. I like seeing like X-wings and fighting sounds, Star Wars, your iconic
yeah.
laser sounds.
And they have the like Ghost Galaxy or whatever it's called sometimes for like Halloween, but I just don't think that's anything like I don't think it's done well enough
Mhm.
that I prefer it. But Star Wars, the one is really fun. And Star Wars soundtrack is just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cool.
agree. Good, good. All right. Ready to talk about the severed son?
I think I am ready.
Okay. So this is A Severed Son from 2024. It is written and directed by Dean Puckett. I just have a little IMDb summary of it. So Magpie lives in an isolated church community ruled over by her father, the pastor. When a man is murdered, paranoia sets in and people start to whisper about a strange beast that lives in the forest. So this is one Luis kind of picked. It was one that he like saw on a thing and was like, "This looks like something you'd like, me." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm down." And then it had like a weird release date. It's from 2024, but it didn't come out on like streaming or anything until what, last month.
Hmm.
And it's on Amazon for like $7. So I don't really know the whole background to it and its availability.
It seems like it was maybe like an indie film,
Yeah,
or that was only released at a festival,
that's what I was gonna say.
and
It's probably a thing that did like a festival run.
it probably got popular, and so they put it on Amazon. I don't know, something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know enough about the film community and those types of things to figure it out. Okay, so what did you think?
Um. So full spoilers ahead for this movie.
Hmm.
I don't know if anybody's actually ever gonna watch this movie. I feel like it's gone under the radar, or just nobody. There's not enough marketing for it, because I think it was just like, oh, this did really good at a Sun's, or a festival, so let's just put it on Amazon. But nobody, like, I don't see any marketing for it. I don't see any trailers.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen anyone mention it or anything. It's
So
got
I
a like interesting poster.
yeah, yeah. So spoilers ahead. Though I don't think anybody's listening to the anybody who is familiar with this movie. So okay,
Oh, can I
um,
ask
go ahead.
can I ask you something in relation to that then, since we're talking spoilers and everything? Do you think someone should watch this? Or are they cool to just like listen to people talk about it?
I think if you're like a film, maybe like a aspiring filmmaker or something that's looking to do something small and indie, or just likes to see like festival movies or something, I feel like you should see this one. Other than
Okay.
that, I don't think any like mainstream person, like casual, I don't know, whatever you want to call people these days, casual moviegoer, I think they would say this is not a good movie, or it just seems like amateurish. Um, but yeah, if you want to just see a really, I think it's good. It's just if you take it at face value that it's an indie, it's a small budget indie film filmed in the woods, small
Yeah.
cast, minimal CGI when it comes to the monster. You just gotta take it for what it is, and I think this will be a good movie for people. So yeah, so I'm a bit mixed on it, because I do understand that it is low budget and it is a small production,
Yeah.
although I don't exactly know what the budget was. But I think overall, if this is, it's well done. If it's somebody's first thing, which I don't know these directors, so
Looks like it's a British horror film.
yeah, it's just a small project, and I
Yeah.
think if we just take it for what it is, it's a pretty okay movie. What about you?
Yeah. I think I didn't realize going into it how low budget or indie-ish it was gonna be.
Mhm.
Um, because I really knew nothing.
Yeah.
You're the one that like found this, so I all I saw was that there was a character named Magpie, and I saw the um poster, the like yellow one with her holding up the axe, which
Mhm.
I mean looks pretty cool. It looks a little like indie-ish, but not at the same level I was expecting.
Mhm.
Like it's, lower budget than I was expecting, I think. Um it's the feature debut of this guy,
Yeah.
which I can see. So it's like I think he has potential. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I don't know whether I would say I liked it necessarily,
Mhm.
but it had some interesting ideas, I think. For what they were working with, it was done well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's when it's something like this, it's not like this huge mainstream thing with a big studio behind it and stuff, like you don't want to hate on it.
Mhm.
I just I think it's something that, you can listen to somebody talk about and not worried about like getting spoiled on it, or I don't think it's worth, you know, paying to see necessarily.
Mhm.
But, you know, for a film that's, somebody's debut and they're just entering it into festivals and stuff, I would say this is like probably pretty good.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it is. I would say it's I don't know if this is the right phrase, but well, I don't even now I'm doubting myself if it's even that on the nose, I think. Because it is about cuz so okay, so what is it about? It's about this cult, right? Which I have some theories about this cult as well. Um but it's about this cult and there's some
I mean, it's kind of like a witch hunt type thing
yeah,
going on.
but I think if we go deeper, I think it's more about the domestic violence and how that manifests, and this creature. It's a monster. It's like trying to be a monster film, but it's also more of a metaphor for how this thing deals with these horrible people, like the abusers and the sexual harassers and the rapists. So
Yeah.
there's a lot in here. um, and I guess at the end of the day, I feel like I'm not sure what exactly it's trying to say, because it is about that stuff, but it also has this creature thing that feels very real, and it's not imagined. At least I don't think it is. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. But it does seem like this creature thing is sort of uh, like a vehicle for this domestic how this domestic violence manifests, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your theory on this community and the cult?
So okay, so my initial theory
Hmm.
was that the rest of the world is gone somehow,
Yeah.
and this little community is trying to stay alive by distancing themselves from the rest of the world. But that could be that could also just be a metaphor for, oh yeah, this is how cults work. They just don't want to be part of mainstream society, and they think they're right about something.
Yeah, I was questioning that. Like I wrote apocalypse question mark on my note thing. Like, is this like some setting where the rest of the world is like gone and they're remaining? Because it does show a road, like a paved road,
Mm-hmm.
and power lines and things at some point,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't show any like cars on it or people. But at the same time, it's not showing like the roads destroyed or the power lines like aged or anything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, is humanity like out there? Like, is there just normal society other places? And these people are just out there alone, like in their area,
Mm-hmm.
isolated from that? Or did something actually happen where these are like one of the few pockets of people remaining on Earth? I just, it seemed like it was kind of hinting at that, the latter one, but I just
I
couldn't
feel
tell. Like
yeah.
maybe they didn't have, the a way to show the road destroyed or the budget to like get more of that or something. I don't know.
It doesn't seem there's enough evidence for that theory. You know,
Yeah.
like the movie
Yeah.
doesn't give you enough evidence for that. It points more towards no, these people are just crazy, and they want to live a reclusive life, and
Yeah.
there's one cult leader, although father, though this is a religious based on Christianity, I presume.
Yeah, they
Um,
call him the pastor and stuff. Um,
so
yeah.
it could be taken either way, and you don't really know, and I guess maybe that's the point.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's supposed to kind of be like that. Like they give you little hints.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are showing that it's in modern times, basically. It's not like this is like during the Salem witch trials area, like period era. It is saying that this is more modern.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, so that was my theory, but now I feel like I've redacted that theory, and I'm leaning more toward no, it's just a cult. Go.
Who do you think in this you would be rooting for?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because on one side of it, okay, Magpie is kind of her husband beat her and the kid, right?
Yeah.
And then the other guy that the beast killed was like raping his own daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So like the
Nobody.
people being killed were like bad, but also like also I don't know, is summoning or like working with some like demon looking thing like I just maybe it's, the part of me that was raised Christian and stuff and it's just like I don't know, I don't see a beast looking creature and be like thinking it's good to work with it. Even if it's doing good, quote unquote. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean it's killing people, but it's killing like bad people. But it just I don't know. I mean, I guess the one you can like root for would be the other daughter, right? The Ursula girl.
Yeah.
Because she prayed for something to like kill her dad who was molesting her, but like it's not like she I think that's something people would do in that situation. That's not the same as like Magpie was like off fornicating supposedly with the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. It's not clear whether the movie wants you to sympathize with anybody.
yeah,
I mean, I think everybody is kind of in the wrong, to be honest.
yeah.
I mean, even as much as I want these people to, well, I don't know if it's so the creature is only killing bad people.
I
It
mean,
is what it
currently,
is. Yeah.
but you know, if you make deals with the devil, like maybe he'll help you out in the beginning, but then things, you're still giving power to this demonic entity.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't, I wouldn't root for anybody, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, in that, I guess in that sense, I don't know what its purpose is, like what its.
Like what it's trying to say or what the point is,
Hmm.
or yeah.
Because how does it end? It ends with seemingly almost everybody dying, right?
I mean,
Does
does
Magpie?
Mac, I think she's, she could be okay, right?
Well, she got stabbed by her dad, right?
No. He was going to stab her and he didn't. He like hit her in the head.
Oh, he did her on the head. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but he went to stab her and then the beast stabbed him instead. That's what the noise was. The stabbing noise was him
Hmm.
getting stabbed. And then it shows her walking towards it at the end, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But she's
So,
yeah, she's just staring, no? And the camera just zooms in on her, right?
um, when she's laying or when she's walking towards it?
I don't know. I can't remember. What was the last shot?
I think she's, I think it's when she was like, she like walked towards it because it's like things that were on the ground were
Hmm.
like by her. And then she like is like basically right on top of the edge of those things. And then she stops like moving towards it.
Okay.
I can't remember like what the exact last shot is, but
So you're
yeah.
saying
So it
that
looks like she was alive.
yeah, that
Yeah, I
she
think
survived.
so. And I mean, other towns people did. I'm is her poor son still in the that one place where her dad locked him up?
Yeah, that
Is that messed up?
little shed in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, dude. Why do you have to lock up the kid?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's so I mean
So
it's kind of interesting because the pastor, right? He's all about control. It's not about right and wrong. It's not about whether the demon is real or not, or whether his religion is real or not, or anything. It's just about controlling this community of people to him, right?
mhm. Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. Because he doesn't seem to believe in the monster at any point, but he knows the people do. So to get them back under control, he pretends that he like took care of it.
Hmm. Which is kind of what happened at the Salem witch trials. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the one lady was definitely somebody who like, similar to characters that you see in movies about the Salem witch trials and those type of people where it's very much I saw this heretic, she's a witch, she's working
Hmm.
with the devil, all that like kind of like craziness.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she has things happen in that home that she turns a blind eye to. You've got the devil in your house, lady. Your husband is molesting your child,
Hmm.
but you're worried about Magpie, this woman who's, took care of her husband that was beating her. Like, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little
It's
absurd.
yeah. I mean, it's just strange. It's just yeah. I don't know what the message is here because you know you want to be on her side for
On Magpie's,
On Magpie's side
yeah.
because she knows people that are hurting people and but she's also summoning this thing that's just killing people in a visceral way and it's just yeah it's hard to root for anybody And it would have been almost a more interesting story if there wasn't a demon at all, you know, and it was
Yeah.
sort of this allusion to the Salem witch trials and what happened in that whole situation. It's like, were they crazy? Were they not?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I almost would have preferred not to see any creatures, or maybe do see it, but you don't know if it's real.
I think that's how I felt, especially with that one woman, how like it shows her reacting to something, but you don't see what she sees.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on it shows it.
Yeah.
It shows the beast and Magpie having sex or whatever. And so that you see that she did see the same beast.
Mm-hmm.
And like the beast looks the same as everyone.
Yeah.
The one guy, what's his name, John,
Mm-hmm.
he drew the beast, right, from his like hallucinogenic hallucination like
Mm-hmm.
dream or whatever, but it seems like that was also real. That whole like night vision scene thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have
Because
been
Magpie references it later too, that scene.
right.
So yeah, if they didn't show the beast, like if they had just shown that woman looking at something and you don't see what she sees ever, then you could still be like, well, maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe these
Or
are people lying.
or she could have just seen Magpie just like pleasuring herself, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, maybe this is like, what if with the Salem witch trials, the people were witches,
Mm-hmm.
but they were using witchcraft towards good. Maybe that's kind of like what this idea is.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, that's kind of an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see it. I just wish it was just a bit more, I don't know, maybe vague, maybe a little bit more, like yeah, more vague on like the metaphor, or the, I don't know, the allusion to these type of stories like the Salem witch trials, and I'm sure there's been other cases like that. Like it needed to be tighter, I think, because it's just, I feel like it just leaves too many, or I guess the opposite. It doesn't leave enough room for interpretation for you to come up with, interesting conclusions on your own, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I think I think I would have found it a little more interesting maybe if it was just Magpie dealing with the beast and not the David guy too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were both kind of in on it together, you know? Especially since the Salem witch trials were so like targeted at women, you know?
Yeah.
It just keep it to Magpie being the one dealing with the creature. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good ideas here. It's just a little rough around the edges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
that's a good way to put it.
I think that even the beast I would have liked without the CGI little roots growing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that part of it. And like, or if they were going to do the roots, maybe like actually have it taking over the community more and more. But anytime it showed the roots growing, it was just like growing 10 feet from the beast. Like it would like always be growing and moving, but anytime you'd see the beast, it was like it was starting back from a different place.
Right.
Like it would have been cooler if it was like actually taking over the community.
I mean, that's because because they didn't have the capability to create a big budgeted CGI thing. It seems like
Yeah, but then they
they,
shouldn't have
yeah, right. But
done
the
that, is what I'm saying.
so yeah. So what if, I guess in their eyes, maybe, or the creators, they had
It's like
they had a
showing
CG.
that it is happening, but they can't do it. But that's the idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I think that,
I can see, like, production wise, like, hey, we only have the CGI person for this specific amount of days or whatever, and so let's just keep it small. Maybe they did have something bigger in mind,
yeah.
but yeah, the little tentacle things only happened in a few scenes, and they were very close up.
Yeah, I just think they shouldn't have had them at all. I think sometimes if you don't have the budget, instead of doing the thing poorly, just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean?
No, I mean that's
The monster looked fine to me.
yeah.
So I just think it didn't need the roots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. The monster was. I don't know if it was a combination of CGI or if it just was shot in interesting ways and in unique lighting, so you couldn't quite see
Yeah,
if it.
which is good.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a suit or just a shadow thing.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out either, but that's a good way to do it then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say we had to change our setting on the TV because I was being like blinded by this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The like sky was so bright and it was taking me out of the movie. I was like squinting and stuff, so I don't know if that was just our TV settings or if that's just the way the movie looks, and it made it look more amateurish when it was like that.
Yeah.
Something about the like coloring or something, it just like looked like it wasn't on as good of a like camera or something. I don't
Mm.
know. But then the second we changed our TV settings and it was like a little bit more dim, it looked better for me. Like it looked like it was like a slightly higher budget all
Yeah.
of a sudden.
Yeah. I don't want to actually say that it's the movie's fault because I think it might just be our settings on our side
Yeah,
because we were streaming it from Amazon Prime
through a
uh,
TV onto our
through yeah
or through a computer onto our TV.
yeah yeah.
Yeah, so it was that's what I'm saying. I feel like it must have just been our settings or something,
Mm.
but it like made such a big difference when we switched over. Um, yeah, it was a shorter movie. It was 80 minutes long. It does say the film is loosely based on the guy's 2018 short, The Sermon.
Hmm. All the actors were pretty good. What did you think?
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel like yeah, everybody did well. Like
Mm.
I said, I think there's a lot of potential here, so I would be curious to see what this guy Dean Puckett could do with a better budget and,
Mm-hmm.
better things at his disposal.
Yeah.
I it like you could tell it was lower budget and everything, but it didn't come off like bad or super
No.
cheesy or anything. It's just something that isn't there all the way, but is like could be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of the things where it's like if this was released by some big studio or something in theaters and stuff, I would be like, why is this? This should be like a streaming on something type thing. Like I would, but with it being somebody's debut feature and being more independent and low budget, it's
Mhm.
fine. It wasn't scary at all.
No.
Um, no, how much it was trying to necessarily be.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't really a lot of
It
like
feels a little
action.
more full core type, but even then,
Hmm. I was gonna say there isn't really a lot of physical like violence. I guess you see the creature.
she cuts off her husband's hand, and
Yeah.
I think the violence was good because it's there, but it's not.
You also don't. Yeah, like you don't see the creature attack that one dad that's molesting his child. You just see the
Yeah.
aftermath, which I would say that's probably for the best. You know.
I mean, you see it like kind of put its claws by his face, so it like
Yeah. Oh
slashes
yeah.
his face
There.
or
That's
something.
right. That's right.
Yeah, so it shows like some violence, but I think it shows just enough that what's happening, but not too much that it looks bad because they didn't have the budget to do things like in a more extreme way. And
Hmm.
that's what I mean. Like, I think that was a good choice. I think that was one of those things where it's like, oh, if we can't show it where it's going to look real, then let's not show it. And that's a good decision.
Yeah. So I originally thought this was a foreign film, but it's not, right? I mean, it's all.
Um,
Well, I guess it's
no,
British.
it's British. It's from the United
Yeah.
Kingdom, yeah.
I just no. Well,
Oh,
I wasn't expecting it in English at
mm,
all.
okay.
That's it. That's all I have to say. I was expecting something else, but yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Anything else you want to say?
Um, I don't know what that movie was called that I saw. I wanted to say how there was like the other horror film I watched on AMC Plus that was it French? That was like pretty low budget to the
Hmm.
fact that do you remember that one? I'll find it.
No,
The Vordelak. Do you remember me watching that?
no.
It's it was pretty low budget. Um, let's
What
see.
happened in it?
I'm bad at explaining.
Is it a
Yeah, the
monster
King of
film?
France. A mystery of the King of France finds refuge in the home of a strange family.
Oh, I vaguely remember
Remember it
this.
had that like really cheap looking like doll thing and everything like it was low budget
Yeah, yeah.
and it had some things that like looked pretty darn cheesy,
Hmm.
but I still really liked it. And that was kind of like more of a full core type thing. And that's just, I just want to say that there's, low budget movies out there that aren't always the best,
Hmm.
but they can be fun to watch. And it's interesting to see ideas that people have. And I would rather watch something that's not perfect, but still, I don't know, interesting or has new ideas or isn't the same thing that all these big studios are always turning out.
Yeah.
So I think support lower budget movies support artists that, are up and coming, and it's one of those things where I don't want to be too harsh on them. So I think I go in expecting things to not always be the best. So that's probably why I'm a little like nicer to them.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think this, I don't think it's anything super special that anybody needs to watch. But I would say maybe one day this guy will be making things that are very special and unique and will be, you know,
Yeah.
worth watching and paying to see.
Yeah. I think
I guess
we'll
that's,
eventually see something in the theater by this
yeah.
director.
And, it's just kind of like going to a local theater and seeing some band that's a little rough around the edges and they're trying out different songs and styles and different sets, and in time they get a little better, and the next thing you know, they're, some really popular band. Look at someone like Chapel Rowan, who was very doing it on her own and then started opening for people and then had her career not working and went back home and all of a sudden blew up
Yeah.
years later. So yeah.
Yeah. Support indie movies like this one.
Yeah.
You know.
So I just feel bad when I'm like, I don't think you need to pay to see this, but also like, if you have the means and stuff,
Yeah.
and just, you know, if you do pay to see something like this that is like a lower budget thing and then you don't like it, I don't think that you need to like rage about it. You
Yeah.
can be honest with your reviews. That's fine, but just be honest with your expectations going in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm blabbing. I just, I root for people.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to succeed. I want people to be able to be creative.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Do you have anything else to add about this movie?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
we've exhausted. I've exhausted my thoughts. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's people that are very good at reading into things and maybe they'll have more to say about metaphors or something that I'm not picking up on, but I'm not that person.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just art, and art is
Yeah.
subjective.
Yeah.
And you can read into things as much as possible, but at the end of the day, maybe that's not even what the director intended it to read as,
Yeah, true. So yeah, that's December 10. Our way of ending this is to talk about something we're looking forward to. So Luis, what are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
Which is tomorrow. And if for those of you who don't know, it's a big it's sort of replacing what E3 was back in the day, which was just this a giant convention of all the latest video game announcements. But Summer Game Fest is sort of picking up that mantle, and it's now being like recognized as like this giant event. And and that's all thanks to Jeff Keighley for trying to keep this thing alive that we love.
I mean, it's in the Game Awards still being around thanks to him too.
Yeah, but the Game Awards has been around for a while. This one's fairly new. This Summer Game Fest thing, which I think started during the pandemic, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it just seems to be that he cares about this kind of stuff, and it's not an easy task. So good for him.
Yeah. And it's all digital. It's all virtual. I think there is, well, I don't know about that. I think there is a live audience in some place venue, but I
Yeah.
think it's really more about the viewers online. Whereas, I feel like E3 was more about the people there.
Yeah. Getting the crowd reactions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like I've already said this a little bit, so it's kind of cheating about looking forward to the weather being nice, but in particular with that, I'm looking forward to, going on more walks with the dog, and I kind of want to go get more boba now
Oh
that
yeah,
the weather is nice with the boba lady.
the boba lady.
I feel like she sees us like cheating on her and going to different places.
I know.
Starbucks across the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The boba lady is a food cart. We're in Portland, so this is food cart land. There's food
Yep.
carts everywhere, and yeah, and I used to go to this boba lady. I don't know why we call her the boba lady.
I don't know, because it's
Uh,
the lady that owns it that is always there working,
yeah,
her and her husband.
yeah, and I think her daughter works there as well
Yeah.
sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I like the bobas there. Um,
It's just not the type of thing I crave when it's like cold.
yeah, exactly.
Which is weird because I like ice cream. I prefer ice cream when it's colder than hot. I think because ice cream just melts and gets sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I prefer when it's cold so it doesn't melt so quick. But like boba is the type of thing I crave when it's like hot versus when it's cold. But coffee drinks, I can crave whenever because you can get ice, you can get hot, whatever. Um, but yeah, I like the boba lady. There's some Thai food over there. There's a place where I got a really good sandwich that is like never open, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that this summer.
Cool. Me too.
All right. So don't know when this will be posted exactly. We are planning on watching 28 days later, 28 weeks later, and then week
20.
after that, 28 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm excited.
I'm assuming those will be probably posted before this even. So if it's out of whack, sorry, but we're just kind of doing things as we like here.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, thanks. Bye. All right. See you next time.
All right. See ya.
Bye.